Hello and welcome to the Art of Artisan. Today, by request of a couple of commenters last week, I'm going to be doing Alchemy. And we're going to be doing a deck that's not super Alchemy heavy, but still benefits heavily from some of the Baldur's Gate cards. And that is Orzhov 2 spell. So the payoffs for our deck are going to be Monk of the Open Hand, which gets a +1/+1 counter, Clarion Spirit, which makes a 1/1 spirit, and Bloodsky Berserker, which gets two +1/+1 counters every time we cast our second spell on a turn. So our deck's goal is to cast 2 spells every single turn. But the issue with that plan is you run out of cards pretty quickly. So we need lots of card draw. So for that we've got Cursebound Witch, which draws us a card sort of when it dies. We've got Spirited Companion, which draws a card when it enters the battlefield, and Guildsworn Prowler, which draws a card when it dies. And because we've got all these cheap creatures, we're also going to have some sacrifice synergies. So we've got Shambling Ghast and Deadly Dispute, which these two cards together, if you cast Shambling Ghast, then Deadly Dispute, that's 2 spells, but you get back 2 cards and 2 mana, so it's 1 mana to cast 2 spells without any card advantage loss. So that's really a powerful synergy. And we've got Xander's Wake as a sacrifice thing, which once again helps us to 2 spell because it's drawing us cards constantly. And then we've got some interaction. We've got Patriarch's Humiliation, which is a new Baldur's Gate card, which is solid removal. This can kill indestructible creatures. It's pretty much a cheap Kabira takedown, but better. We've got Selfless Samurai, which can help protect a Bloodsky Berserker or a Clarion Spirit. It's mostly just here to shore up against some matchups where our opponent is just super removal heavy to make sure we still have payoffs in the late game. And Rite of Oblivion, a catch-all removal spell, fits with the sacrifice sub-theme. And our lands, pretty land light, because we are low curve, lots of card draw sort of deck. And that is Orzhov 2 spell for Alchemy. Let's get to the games and see how it does. Game 1 versus Capano. And our opening hand has Shambling Ghast and Deadly Dispute and a Monk of the Open Hand. I like just about everything that's going on here. Not our best payoff, but we will be able to draw a decent amount with this hand. Here go opponent. Alrighty. Playing against something black-green. We're going to get our first Monk of the Open Hand trigger here. Also, apologies to those who are tired of me playing Orzhov. It's just that Orzhov, for some reason, has had the best support as far as Artisan goes. Lots of white weenie cards, lots of solid black sacrifice cards, and those are all great for a low curve deck. We did not draw a second spell that we can cast, or a land to cast our second spell. So we're gonna get a treasure, and we still didn't hit it. That is bad. Okay, so we'll just play out a Shambling Ghast and Deadly Dispute it next turn. And we'll have to say that's good enough. Yep, swing in. Hope our opponent plays something that we can kill with Patriarch's Humiliation next turn. That would be really nice, just to give us a second spell that costs 1 mana. Alright, Triumphant Adventure, that's what we want to see. That's an easy kill for us. If once we get enough mana, sometimes this deck can even double spell on our opponent's turn. And it's each turn for Monk of the Open Hand, so we are fine. We can trigger it that way. And actually, I think we're going to kill Triumphant Adventure with Shambling Ghast now that I think about it. Or Patriarch's Humiliation. Wow, we are not drawing any lands in our top 12. I think we have to Deadly Dispute. We've got to draw into some sort of lands. And we'll remove the Triumphant Adventure. That's pretty important to do. Draw 2, hit a land. 2 lands. There we go. Cursebound Witch. Monk of the Open Hand is now a 4/4. It's a pretty good threat. We'll swing in with it. Also, our opponent's trying to go for Dungeon of the Mad Mage, which means they are an all-in adventure. Well, venture into the dungeon deck. March of Otherworldly Light, that's good. Oh wow, did they exile a card from their hand for that? They did. Wow, okay, that's a good trade for us. That's a 2-for-1. We've just got Bloodsky Berserker about to come in. Ooh, do they have nothing? Nothing to do this turn? Are they land light too? Oh, that's rough. I'm not going to complain because we were also land light and our deck is just better built to handle it. Let's do that. And then let's cast Xander's Wake. Trigger it immediately. And this is going to be a great card advantage engine for us. This is going to keep us through the game regardless of how much we dump our hand. I mean, our opponent does have exile-based. Yep, exile-based removal. So that's going to slow down Xander's Wake a little bit. But I'm still feeling pretty good about where we're at. Our opponent's not really getting to progress their game plan. They're just playing the heavy control style of this deck. Wow, Vanishing Verse. They don't want a Xander's Wake there. Alright, now we're in trouble. We have no more payoffs. We need to draw into something good. Selfless Samurai is not what we're looking for. Spirited Companion hits Plains. Well, we will Selfless Samurai. And I think we're just going to get rid of Cloistered Gargoyle. Just so that we can start getting in with Cursebound Witch. Which sounds dumb, but with our opponent land screwed and us with nothing going on in hand, I think just beating down might be our way of winning. Okay, Precipitous Drop. We are not going to let our opponent venture this turn. We will protect the Spirited Companion. Sweet. Alright. Not sweet what we drew, but just sweet that our opponent had nothing else. We really need to draw some action here, though. Even if we draw a 2-spell card, it's not that great yet. Probably our best draw is Deadly Dispute. Darn it. I was hoping I'd say it and it would come right off the top. And just from this game alone, I feel like we both have too few and too many lands, which is a little bit rough. That's not where you want to be. And I think we may have lost at this point, just flooding out so badly. Mana Screw does beat Mana Flood. Oh, Teleportation Circle, alright. Oh my goodness, we have drawn half the plains in our deck, and almost half of our swamps in our deck. I guess we're almost halfway through, well, we're only a third of the way through the deck. We're drawing so many lands. And our opponent's got us here. They get a Scry, which is huge when we're in this top deck war. One to the top. That means it's probably a land that's going to help them do their thing. Cursebound Witch is not the worst. Alrighty, pass to you, opponent. Please, no more lands. Oh, Triumphant Adventure. That's a good draw. Spirited Companion, also a good draw. Okay. Doggy gives us Shambling Ghast. Sweet. Shambling Ghast kills Triumphant Adventure. And this triggers on attack, so they'll get one venture into the dungeon. But, I mean, Creative Treasure Token, probably the best they can do. Oh, they hit the land. Okay, they did scry. Oh, no. That's so good. Oh, yikes, yeah. Vigilance? Yeah, we can't even triple block that to kill it. We're just totally dead. Oh, gosh. Let's just hope that we hit Cruel Reality off this Cursebound Witch. That is our best hope. Cruel Reality, it's our way of cheating, getting a mythic in our deck, which is Vengeance. I mean, I guess we just do Witch's Vengeance and do Night. Oh man, that was good for our opponent. In that Elspeth. We are going to be able to keep it in check, I think. We can remove this Triumphant Adventurer, but still. Okay. Witch's Vengeance on... Do I do Human to kill our own Cursebound Witch? I think I do. Human. Let's kill this Cursebound Witch and draw another. Cauldron Familiar. Makes me wish I had taken the Oven. Sacrifice a creature. How much do we want to be doing that? Maybe a little bit. But I think Sorcerer's Broom. We can cast Sorcerer's Broom. And we can start sacking treasures to copy it. So it's actually going to be able to go wide here. And swing in at Elspeth. Gotta get rid of this Elspeth. Planeswalkers are the bane of Artisan decks. Rite of Oblivion is also a good draw for us. That can get rid of it. Opponent only got a land out of the deal. That is good. Oh, second Elspeth. Immediately gonna take it down? I'd assume so. Yep, takes it down. And finds Varys, Silvery Moon Ranger. Okay, give us Rite of Oblivion. Rite of Oblivion is our best draw here, for sure. Nope, Spirited Companion. Okay. Draws us into land, I'm guessing, at this point. Seems like what we've been drawn. We haven't drawn one in a bit. Gambler's Fallacy says that we should draw one. Gambler's Fallacy is correct. We can take out Elspeth at the cost of one creature. I think that's worth it. So we'll swing in at Elspeth. Drop the Sorcerer's Broom. Let's say you opponent. You can kill any one of our creatures for free here. But it does lose the shield counter off of this, which is kind of nice. Okay. Oh no. March of Otherworldly Light. That's a good hit for our opponent. And we only hit Elspeth down one. Oh, that sucks. Oh, we are in trouble. We can make 2 Sorcerer's Brooms on our opponent's end step. But that's just about all we can do. I'm guessing Vigilance. Vigilance, hooray. Land. Oh, please swing in, opponent. Yes. Okay, we're going to make a white mana here. Yeah, we'll pay 3 for that. We're going to make a white mana here. And yeah, we'll pay for 3 for the first. And we can double block and still have a Sorcerer's Broom up. We'll actually keep the original, just because tokens are easier to kill. And we've gotten rid of our opponent's entire board here. Yes. Okay. Nothing in hand. We've got 2 attackers and 3 attackers. We've got a 3-turn clock here. Yeah, 3-turn clock. And your go, opponent. What do you top deck? Nadar. Of course they top deck Nadar. That's a good draw. Ventures into the dungeon. Gets to scry 2. I'm going to scry as well. Patriarch's Humiliation. I will take that for sure. Opponent does get to teleportation circle it though, and that means they get 2 black skeletons or to play the top of their library. Okay, 2 skeletons. That's what I would expect them to do. We will kill Nadar, and we'll swing in with the Shambling Ghast. If they block the Shambling Ghast, actually I'll swing in with all 3. I'm okay with trading any of these right now. We just want to open up the battlefield for swinging in with our 2-1. Yeah, we're okay with the double trade here. Not as good as getting him with Shambling Ghast, but in the long run, I think that's the better play. Dungeon Descent, that's not going to do our opponent anything. We get Guildsworn Prowler, I'm just going to take it because that's damage. And like our 2 spell cards aren't going to be that great right now. We just don't want to be drawing lands is all. Deadly Dispute, still a fantastic draw, because that can give us like 3 Sorcerer's Brooms. Triumphant Adventure, okay. Deadly Dispute on top. Deadly Dispute on top. Bloodsky Berserker. Actually gonna bottom this. Yeah, I think we need to bottom that and set an upkeep stop. Okay, they exile it for no apparent reason. And we're gonna scry again, just to make sure we don't hit a land. Resolve. Clarion Spirit. You know what? That's slightly better. It's got a better amount of power immediately. And we will swing in with Shambling Ghast and Guildsworn Prowler. See what our opponent can do. They take it. The next step on this is just scrying 3, so they can't swing in or else they're dead. I'm going to upkeep stop, scry again. Oh, they swing in. That's game. Good game. Because they're, oh wait, they can blink it with Teleportation Circle. I forgot about that. Ah, if I played out the Clarion Spirit, we had them. No blocks. I messed up. I'm sorry, opponent. I said good game preemptively. I forgot about Teleportation Circle. I'm that one jerk. Scry. Deadly Dispute wins us the game. Clarion Spirit's still good. I'll take it. Draw. White mana. Swing in with everything. Opponent's probably going to block the Sorcerer's Broom. That's the most dangerous permanent I have right now. They're down to 1. I don't think they're playing Meat Hook Massacre in their 4-color adventure deck. So I'm just going to run out both of these, get the flyer in play. Maybe a bit too risky of a play to do that. Eliwick Tumblestrum. They finished the dungeon. They actually finished it. But I don't think any set of cards is going to save them here. They gain 3. They play Nadar. They can gain 1 more life. Oh wait, no. Oh, they gained 3 life. Oh, wow. Exile target monocolored. They're probably going to kill one of our flyers. Or a Clarion Spirit. Clarion Spirit, that makes sense. Now they just need to gain 1 life, which they can do by playing Nadar, but they don't have the mana. Not enough mana for them to win the game. Oh, they get Adventure twice because of Teleportation Circle too. Oh shoot, if they win this after all of this. Oh, okay, so they're alive for yet another turn. We're going to upkeep Scry and just hope to hit Patriarch's Humiliation. That should win us the game. Patriarch's Humiliation wins us the game. Not much else does. Rite of Oblivion also wins us the game. Clarion Spirit does not win us the game. We just want to win the game. Draw. Rite of Oblivion. Never didn't have it. Target Nadar. Sacrificing Shambling Ghast. Create a treasure token so we can flash back Rite of Oblivion if we ever needed to. But we don't need to because we've got lethal. And the card draw aspect of our deck really lets us grind. For having a curve that ends at 2 mana, we did surprisingly well in the late game, and we're spending our mana pretty effectively. That was a good game. Let's go to game 2. Game 2. Playing against Ramul. And our opening hand looks pretty good. We've got Rite of Oblivion and Shambling Ghast. We've got Bloodsky Berserker. One more black mana would be our favorite top deck here. Either that or a Monk of the Open Hand. Monk of the Open Hand would be a great draw. The opponent passes. We will take a Selfless Samurai. Or we can just play out Bloodsky Berserker. Here. Let's swing in. Our opponent has Play with Fire, I believe. Or maybe Spikefield Hazard, so let's get them to waste it on the Shambling Ghast first. Okay, they don't. So we will play out Guildsworn Prowler if that's the case. If our opponent's doing nothing, we're going to do a little bit of nothing back until we can draw a black source. Shock. Okay. Draws us a card. So we did play correctly there. Opponent is playing Burn, it would appear. That's the only reason I can expect people to play Shock when there's Play with Fire in the format. Scoured Barrens. And we'll just play Spirited Companion here. Draws us Xander's Wake. Ooh, one more mana would be nice next turn. Let's flood out a little bit like last game. Wizard class. Okay, I don't know what our opponent's doing. It's some sort of spellslingery pile. Bloodsky Berserker. Immediately followed by Cursebound Witch. Our opponent's probably going to burn out. Oh, okay. Then Cursebound Witch. So our opponent's playing some sort of Izzet control. But with Wizard's class, they're going to have creatures of some sort. Fairy Vandal, maybe? Unexpected Windfall. Yes, our opponent's got a lot of mana. Not a lot of cards in hand, though. Well, Xander's Wake. And we've got this Rite of Oblivion held up, which we can eventually cast a second time off the treasure from Shambling Ghast that we're going to get. Arcane Bombardment. Okay, why are you running Wizard's class in your Arcane Bombardment deck? That's a little confusing to me. But we will just shamble into Rite of Oblivion, get rid of Arcane Bombardment. And it is nice today to be playing an interactive deck. It feels good to just be able to say nope to your Arcane Bombardment. Blade Juggler draws us a card. We're trying to hit land drops still. And our opponent's on a pretty tight clock here. Their deck doesn't do much until they draw Burn Down the House. Burn Down the House would be pretty brutal right now. They definitely don't have it yet. Well, they might. They might have gotten it off this expressive iteration. Nope, just Molten Impact. Okay. I draw a Boneclad Necromancer I can't really afford. Malakir Blood Priest can drain our opponent, which is really nice. And you see a pair of goblins to make some goblins. Oh, that's good. Okay, we get a treasure. Our opponent's playing really well here. We will ram in with everything. Hope that we get a point of damage in so that we can play Blade Juggler on the cheap. We do get 2. We also draw off of this. Thieves Guild Enforcer, I guess. And we'll Blade Juggle to draw a card. Hitting Deadly Dispute, that's okay. And we'll just get our clock as... Actually, we'll just Thieves Guild Enforcer on our opponent's end step. That seems like the best play. And then if we draw a Shambling Ghast, or actually we can just Rite of Oblivion the... Oh yeah, if our opponent doesn't do anything, we can Rite of Oblivion... Never mind, they do something. They create a treasure token. We once again get to draft with Xander's Wake. And get... Do we just go for another Blade Juggler or Asylum Visitor? Asylum Visitor should be good here. If our opponent plays out something else, we can start drawing cards off of a 3-1. Oh shoot, they have that. That's good. Okay, resolve that. Pass. Do they attack? Nope. We Thieves Guild Enforcer. Helping our opponent mill their... Ooh, that's a good card for them to mill. For them. Okay, so Asylum Visitor is a wizard. That's a cleric, so we can drain for 3 here. So let's swing in. See what our opponent does. They can just chump block. They do. Okay. So we will just play conservatively. Play out a Spirited Companion. Draw a card. Monk of the Open Hand is a monk. So we'll just play out Selfless Samurai. Hope our opponent doesn't have the burn down the house, but if they do, we can protect the Thieves Guild Enforcer, and then play out Asylum Visitor and Malakir Blood Priest, and we still get them. Yeah, so even if they hit the burn down the house here, if they don't have anything to follow it up, we still win. That's good. Strangle. Okay. I'm assuming they're strangling the Thieves Guild Enforcer. Yup. We'll protect it, because it is more damage right now. And we get to trigger Xander's Wake yet again. This card is kind of ridiculous, not gonna lie. They're desperately digging for something to kill Thieves Guild Enforcer. If they hit it, we are only able to drain for 2. So that would be solid for our opponent if they can hit something to kill Thieves Guild. They appear to not have it. Yep, alright. No dice for the opponent. And if they don't have anything that kills it at instant speed, they don't have anything that kills it at instant speed, then we can swing in. They do have something. Why didn't they do it last turn? Okay. We will Deadly Dispute it. Let's get our card draw still going. I love how much cards we draw, how many cards we draw, how much card draw we get. Thieves Guild Enforcer is good. I could grab another Malakir Blood Priest, but oh my goodness, we had lethal. We had lethal if I grabbed the Malakir Blood Priest. Oh, I feel so dumb there. Okay. Hit the opponent. And cast a Blade Juggler. Maximum damage. Oh wait, this draws us a card. Shoot. Cancel, cancel, cancel. We'll play an Asylum Visitor. And call that good. Discarding a monk. 4 lands, but we're doing pretty good with 4 lands. Just so much value. Mostly off of this Xander's Wake. Okay, they're ticking up. That's scary for us. Land drop, and burn down the house. Voltage Surge. We get to draft a card, yet again. Malakir Blood Priest. Okay, we can drain for 4 next turn if our opponent can't remove the Thieves Guild Enforcer. And that should definitely finish the game. Play out this. I almost just passed the turn, but I missed the space bar. And we might mill our opponent out at this rate. With all the Thieves Guild Enforcers we've been hitting. Swing in. And the opponent has nothing. And we are now 2-0 with this deck. And it's feeling pretty good. We've been resistant to Mana Screw. We've been resistant to Mana Flood. Like, I feel like the deck's resilient. Let's get to game 3 and see if we can keep it up. Game number 3 versus Pika Noir. And we've got both colors of mana. We don't have a turn 1 play. But opponent's going first, so we hopefully will draw into 1. Hello, opponent. Speaking of drawing into 1, we're actually not going to play a turn 1. We're going to hope that we get up to 3 mana and can play Bloodsky Berserker into Cursed-Bound Witch. Duress. Takes Rite of Oblivion. So our opponent's something either combo-y or control-y. Just playing out Bloodsky Berserker is probably best here. So that even if we draw a white source, we can still double spell next turn and trigger it. Infernal Grasp. Okay, opponent removes it, so it doesn't really matter. Although we would still love to draw a land here. Land off the top. Let's go. Pass the turn. Kaga, Shadow Archdruid. You know, play a land or cast a permanent from among those. That's pretty good. Whenever it attacks is all it needs. I maybe should have played out the Guildsworn Prowler this turn. I was thinking I'll block with Cursed-Bound Witch, but Guildsworn Prowler just as a blocker, even though it doesn't draw us a card, having a death-touching blocker is so good. Ooh, whiff on the Duress. No attacks. They're leaving it back on defense. If that's the case, I think we just kill it. Our opponent saw that we had this. But I really do not want them attacking and getting value off of that. So we're gonna get rid of it now. Wow, that is a bad choice. Guess I'll take Bloodhunter Bat, just always increasing the clock. Shambling Ghast. And swing in. Your go, opponent. Moss Pit Skeleton, of all things. Alright. We've got a Death Toucher to block that. Let's lead off with Spirited Companion, though, see what we hit. Monk of the Open Hand. We will play that next turn with the Bloodhunter Bat. No attacks. Pass to you. Jungle Hollow. And they kill the Guildsworn Prowler, which gives us a card. Thank you very much, opponent. We will take that. We're fine trying to race when we have Bloodhunter Bat in hand and way more cards than our opponent. Ooh, that's maybe even better. Monk of the Open Hand, Xander's Wake, and Selfless Samurai. And we will swing in. Here go opponent. Yeah, we're winning this race for sure if they try to just maybe not if they're playing gain 4 life spells. Okay. Introduction to Annihilation. Are they going after our Xander's Wake? We'll just take it. We like this race as it is. Opponent still has 3 to go. 3 hits to go, that is. So we'll play this. We'll swing in with everything except for 1 Spirited Companion to block with. Because we want to trigger Xander's Wake and Blood Hunter Bat. I think we'll have you lose 2 life instead of us losing 2 life. Seems like a better idea. Opponent kills the monk. They exile it, that is, and we draw a card. Cursebound Witch, let's go. And now I think we're winning this game. We're looking really good. We swing in with everything except Selfless Samurai. Opponent blocks the Shambling Ghast. Doesn't matter, we're going to sacrifice it anyways. Draft a card, create a treasure token. Morbid Opportunist. Yeah, I think we go with that. That's the best of those options. Ooh, okay. Hit for all that. And then do we just run everything out? Yeah, with Selfless Samurai, ooh, Meat Hook Massacre. Our opponent was playing a card that cares about permanence. Meat Hook Massacre seems likely. So let's just pass. Cram Session, okay. Introduction to Annihilation again. Ooh. That's 0. Yeah, that's a cool card, but not that great in this situation. Block with Cursebound Witch, or will we? No, we have lethal if we don't. Okay, we'll take it. Bonk. Our opponent's deck did not look that good this game. I'm wondering if that's just bad drawing or if that's just a bad deck. But we will take it. We've got a winning record out of 3 games. This is looking really good for this deck. And we're ranking up. I mean, I have a terrible MMR, so don't expect to win as much as I do. I get matched against pretty bad opponents. But we are ranking up with this deck. So it's better than my other decks that I test. On to game number 4. Game number 4 versus Karkum. And this is not a keepable hand, only 1 land. This is a keepable hand with only 2 lands, I think. Or we could dump a Guildsworn Prowler. You know what, we're going to do that. Okay, we want to guarantee we hit lands here. So we're going to go Guildsworn Prowler into Monk of the Open Hand Deadly Dispute on it. That should be a good start off. Plains, alright, we're getting punished for keeping the land heavy hand. Punished for not being greedy. And pass to the opponent. Play with fire. Okay, we will take the card draw. Rite of Oblivion, that's not good. We need something to play after the Monk of the Open Hand. Oh. I've seen this deck before, I feel like. And I guess we're just going to play this out. Let our opponent kill it. Okay, they're not going to kill it, so I think we just Deadly Dispute it. We've got to find more action, and while that is action, we need card draw and fodder to get this. Oh, all 3 Rite of Oblivions. Yikes. Let's hope our opponent's on Arcane Bombardment again, because if so, we can remove their Arcane Bombardments and make their life painful. Cursebound Witch, Selfless Samurai. Hitting Cruel Reality off of Cursebound Witch is also an acceptable thing that can happen. Play with fire. Okay, we'll protect our Cursebound Witch, because why not? And the opponent takes up their Wizard's class. So they do want the Wizard's class, which means I don't want the Wizard's class. So I'm swinging in with Cursebound Witch. And I'm going to sacrifice it instead of the treasure because I really want just card draw. Well, I really want something good to play next turn. Which hopefully Cursebound Witch finds us. Curse of Leeches. That should be good against the Izzet control deck. Should be, I think. I mean, we can constantly flip it to daytime. I don't know actually if it's that good, but it's a rare card. We don't get to play rares in Artisan. I get so excited when I get to. Burn down. Burn down just to hit 1. So this is almost definitely going to be Arcane Bombardment. And if it's Arcane Bombardment, then these Rite of Oblivions are going to be brutal. Cloud Conceer. What? Maybe this is just blue-red. Could this just be blue-red Wizards class? They're taking the trade. I am happy with this trade. And Torment of Scarabs. That actually wins us the game, along with the Curse of Leeches. So we're going to curse you again, opponent. Drain you for 1, drain you maybe for 3, unless you discard something. Okay, they've got extra lands in hand. Prismari Command, killing our treasure to make sure we don't have Rite of Oblivion. That is actually maybe a genius play. That is actually a really cool play. If they have Arcane Bombardment in hand, then I have mad respect for this play. If they're just a Wizards class deck, it's also pretty cool, but yeah, we're probably going to draw something to kill Wizards class anyways. Rite of Oblivion, we're just going to snap this off. We've got 2 curses going, we just want to stall our opponent out. They drew their cards off the Wizards class and forced us to spend resources on it, but we are slowly draining them with our Cursebound Witch power. 13 turns to go, you know? We're close. We've almost got them. Archmage Emeritus. Okay, that's going to give them a lot to sacrifice for Torment of Scarabs. I do not want to sacrifice anything. Shoot, this flips our Curse of Leeches, which means our opponent can kill it. That's not good. Into the Royal. Okay. Into the Royal returns Torment of Scarabs to our hand. They are definitely looking like a Wizards class deck, though. The question is, can they remove Leeching Lurker in their Izzet deck? I mean, it's got 4 toughness, which is pretty tough for most Izzet decks. But Thundering Rebuke is a thing that some decks play. And burn down the house. Except, oh yeah, they're just wiping the board here. Wow, okay. Well played, opponent. We're gonna scry. Clarion Spirit. Yes, we want Clarion Spirit for sure. This is going to force our opponent to have to either counter this instead of countering Torment of Scarabs, or they're going to have to deal with Clarion Spirits, spreading the board wide, and need to have a burn down the house. Torment of Scarabs out of play. Clarion Spirit out of play. Please just play a Wizards class. Strangle on our 1/1. And this is where our sideboard would be pretty good. We have some good cards in our sideboard for what our opponent's doing here. Demilich. Okay, I like it. We'll just play out of planes. We're gonna scry this next turn is all. I wish we had hit Cruel Reality. That would have drained our opponent so much faster. Opponent hitting their land drops like we are. Copy it, you may cast the copy. What are they hitting? If I were them, I'd hit Burn Down the House just to go wide. Nope, Expressive Iteration. They do not think they can close out the game yet. If I were them, I would definitely be going for Burn Down the House to get 3 1/1s, because my deck's definitely not a sweeper deck. Agar. So it's just janky Izzet control kind of thing. Izzet card draw control. I love it. I really do love it. Wizards class with everything that can go with it. And we do not want another land. We want something to sacrifice to Rite of Oblivion. Do we want to do this? No, we don't. We're about to take a ton of damage, though. End turn. Go opponent. I think we are dead, though. Our best draws include Bloodsky Berserker, maybe. Can't think of much else that we want, like Spirited Companion into Bloodsky Berserker. I don't know. Stuff that draws us cards is generally good, but in the end, there we go. Opponent doing the devils. But in the end, I think we've lost this one. Opponent's able to go wide, which is good against Rite of Oblivion. But they're also able to control our board, which is good against our deck. We do not want a swamp. That's another swamp to the bottom. Spirited Companion into Bloodsky Berserker. Watch it happen. Okay, Clarion Spirit. Into Spirited Companion. Into Patriarch's Humiliation. Okay. So we kill Agar. Then we sacrifice our Spirited Companion to kill the Demilich. And we're not in fantastic shape, but we are in slightly okay shape, which is better than we were in. Yeah, we're dead. We're dead, though. We're so dead. Cursebound Witch could be okay. Molten Impact. Yep, that's gonna kill everything. Oh, we're dead. We're literally just dead. And we'll let our opponent do the final hit. Bonk, 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 bonk. And well played, opponent. You broke our win streak with janky Izzet Wizards class of all things. Alrighty, let's go to game number 5. Game number 5 versus True Quiver. We've got our Xander's Wake. I think I need to up Xander's Wake to a 4 in this deck. Maybe trim some Bloodsky Berserkers. And this is a good hand in general. Cursebound Witch. It's a mirror. Our opponent's also playing 2 spell. Just kidding. They're probably just playing mono black control. That seems the most popular Cursebound Witch deck. Deadly Dispute. Alright. If our opponent assembles Cat Oven, I was going to say I will immediately concede, but I don't want to immediately concede. Whoa, sorry. I don't want to immediately concede to Cat Oven. I want to see if we can beat the mono black version of this. So opponent's definitely mono black. Nighthawk Scavenger. That's dangerous. I don't have a good answer to that. I guess a Shambling Ghast and a Selfless Samurai, and then we can Patriarch's Humiliation it next turn. Okay, so maybe not mono black control, maybe just mono black good stuff. And we'll pass the turn. Next turn, even if our opponent removes something, we can still Guildsworn Prowler into Patriarch's Humiliation. Ooh, Curse of Leeches. Nice. I wonder if they drafted that off of their Cursebound Witch. Technically, they maybe could not have. Like, they could have gotten it from somewhere else, but pretty likely it came from. We'll just do this. Patriarch's Humiliation. Draws us a card. And Spirited Companion draws us a card. Patriarch's Humiliation kills that. Maybe I should have spent black mana on the Guildsworn Prowler just because we want to use our black mana effectively. But Spirited Companion could have drawn us into a land, which would have been nice. Also, the Perpetually will be really nice if they ever try to bring this back, because it will literally just be a 1/3. Invoke Despair. Okay. We'll sacrifice our Cursebound Witch. We'll sacrifice our Spirited Companion and keep Xander's Wake. Xander's Wake and Cursebound Witch. Whenever one or more creatures die, draw a card. That seems good. We could go for Witch's Oven. I don't know why we would, but it's a fun card. We've got another Cursebound Witch. We're going for Cat Oven. I believe. I 100% believe that we're going to get Cat Oven. Just kidding, I don't, but it'll be funny if we do. Swing in first, even though our opponent's tapped out. You always want to give your opponent less information before you do stuff. Guildsworn Prowler, Witch's Oven, and pass. If our opponent does anything to Wrath the board, we will just sacrifice Guildsworn Prowler and get an extra card off of it. Next turn we can Morbid Opportunist and Cursebound Witch, and then just immediately sacrifice it to draw 2 cards with Xander's Wake. Invoke Despair is brutal here, though. Torment of Scarabs. Okay. Cursebound Witch. Not much we can do here. Sacrifice Guildsworn Prowler. Draw us a card. Give us something to sacrifice to Torment of Scarabs. Sky Berserker. I like it. Let's just clean our opponent's hand out a little bit. My turn. Yes, Curse of Leeches. We'll resolve that. Sacrifice a non-land permanent. We'll sacrifice that. Rite of Oblivion. We can get rid of Curse of Leeches with that. That would be nice. But I think first step here is just do this and this. And immediately sacrifice this. Actually, no, not immediately. First, let's swing in. Give our opponent a chance to block with Cursebound Witch. They just want to get whatever they can off of it. We draw a card. Swamp. Okay. I mean, we're just playing more things than our opponent, and that's really nice here. Xander's Wake, sack the Cursebound Witch. Witch's Oven, sack the Cursebound Witch to trigger Xander's Wake. I guess we just go for more card draw. And Cruel Reality. Okay. We don't have the mana for it, and our opponent does have Invoke Despairs in their decks, but Cruel Reality is such a good card. Such a good finisher. Blade of the Oni. Living Blade. Opponent Trespassers curses us. That's pretty good here. Shambling Ghast. My turn. Okay, I lose a life. I will sacrifice a non-land permanent, in this case a Shambling Ghast, to kill the Blade of the Oni. Opponent's just giving us a sack outlet. Thanks for the Torment of Scarabs, my dude. Shambling Ghast. Morbid Opportunist. We could get the Tavern Swindler, Vengeful Warchief combo. Okay, we've got a lot of cards in hand. So let's lead off with Bloodsky Berserker into Shambling Ghast into Rite of Oblivion. Yes, we have the mana for all of that. Actually, into Rite of Oblivion first to stop this Trespasser's Curse. Actually, which one's better? I think Trespasser's Curse is actually going to drain us faster in this matchup. We're going to give this -1/-1 because we are about to get the Bloodsky Berserker to 3/3, so we're safe from any shenanigans. Kill that. And we Shambling Ghast. And we swing in for 3. And I think we're ahead of our opponent at this point. Unless they can remove Bloodsky Berserker, we're about to remove the Curse of Leeches, and we're about to just have so many permanents that Torment of Scarabs doesn't even matter. Oop, that's good. I guess just going wide is best here. And we'll sacrifice this to Witch's Oven. Get ourselves a treasure. And opponent kills one of our creatures with Blood on the Snow. And forces us to sacrifice the rest, but we did get value off of all the sacrificing. The opponent can only bring back, like, what's the best card in their graveyard? Cursebound Witch. Nighthawk Scavenger, which is just a 1/3. The Perpetually mattered so much that time. Okay, take one. Sacrifice a non-land permanent, in this case a food. I mean, that's pretty much sacrificing the food to gain 3 life, right? Okay, land. Do we just Cruel Reality here? No, I want to double spell this turn. Double spelling seems really nice. And it'll prevent our opponent from blocking, most importantly. Boneclad Necromancer gets rid of Blade of the Oni, I guess. Take action. Get a zombie. Swing in. And opponent takes it, because they have no other option. And we might just win next turn by all-out swinging. Even through that. Like, ooh, and we also get to check our opponent's hand first. That's going to be solid. Okay, we take some damage. We sacrifice a non-land permanent. Sorry, food, you're gone. Draw Swamp. Play this. Play Acquisitions Expert. Take a peek-see at our opponent's hand. They've got Mind Drain and Gutmorn. I think we just take Gutmorn. That's the most value over time for our opponent. And now Rite of Oblivion wins us the game, I believe. Oh, why did I do this? I have Rite of Oblivion in my graveyard. Yeah, this is game. And we got the 4-1. Sorry, opponent, for that extra flare at the end. I just forgot I had it in the graveyard. And let's get to the deck wrap up. We got a 4-1. That was a really solid showing for the deck. Our only loss was against a deck that felt super janky. We beat Mono Black Control, which is a semi-popular deck. We beat Arcane Bombardment, which is also a semi-popular deck. The rest felt like it was just kind of random stuff. But overall, the deck performed how I would hope. We churned through our deck fairly well with all of our card draw. We were consistently able to double spell. Cards that overperformed and underperformed. I feel like Patriarch's Humiliation was really good, and Xander's Wake was super good. Xander's Wake may need to be a 4 of, and Bloodsky Berserker a 2 of. Really only in that very last game did Bloodsky Berserker do much of anything. Clarion Spirit was surprisingly not great either. I feel like this might just be better transforming into a sacrifice deck, just an Orzhov sacrifice deck, where we get the value of Rite of Oblivion and the power of Clarion Spirit and Spirited Companion as sacrifice fodder. And then we just have the powerful mono black sacrifice stuff with Cursebound Witch and Xander's Wake and Guildsworn Prowler. But overall, the deck, fantastic. Only change I'd make, I'd go down 2 Bloodsky Berserkers, and I would go up 2 Xander's Wakes. I don't actually have the wild. I have the wild cards for it. I just don't have that many Xander's Wakes right now. Sideboard. This is my sideboard right now. Against controlling decks and decks that are trying to just drain us of resources like discard, we have 4 copies of Painful Bond. This was way better when Painful Bond only made cards that cost 3 or more, because it literally was just draw 2 for 2 at instant speed. Super good card. Shattering Finale, just if we need to remove a deck that has a couple of small blockers. Go Blanks and Duresses for control matchups once again. And then Bloodchief's Thirsts and Valorous Stances to handle creature-based matchups, which we didn't really run into any sort of aggro, which may be a big weakness for this deck. We didn't really get to test that. But in Alchemy, I'm not really seeing too many aggro decks. So that was Orzhov 2-spell. I love the deck. Thank you for everyone who suggested that I play Alchemy, because some of these cards, like Xander's Wake and Cursebound Witch, even if they're impossible to play in paper, I find them very fun to play in this format. And like in this deck, it's not too important what we draft off of them, more just that we draft something. So it didn't feel like they were super high variance. Like even getting the Bloodborne Bat or whatever it's called was a good call in one game because it allowed us to double spell. Upgrades to the deck. Big card that I would consider is Tenacious Underdog, because you can cast this constantly from your graveyard, and so that just gives us a way to double spell in the late game. It gives us a way to card draw in the late game, while it's still a 2-mana spell the first time we cast it. So Tenacious Underdog is probably the only like glaringly obvious card to upgrade the deck with. And with that, thank you for watching the video, everyone. Sorry that I'm playing Orzhov yet again, but I hope you all have a good time and keep enjoying Budget Magic.